up, folks?
Hi. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Part 2. Episode 2. Episode 2. Geek Talk. We are here to bring you something silly, nerdy, geeky, hopefully educational. What are we talking about today?
We want to do Dyson Spheres.
We're going to do Dyson Spheres.
Now, I don't know if anybody knows what a Dyson Sphere is, but it was first shown in Star Trek, but theorized by some guy named Dyson back in, I think, the 30s. It's supposedly a ginormous structure built around a star to hold in all its energy, and basically you get 100% energy. Something like that.
Allow me to fix this really quick. Allow me to correct him.
Okay.
A Dyson Sphere can be, at full realization, like literally a solar system or smaller in diameter sphere with any variety of something on the interior, an entire interior circumference of habitable living areas built in the Goldilocks zone of a star. It can be built out beyond where the planet is that the race lives in, and it can be designed to simply harness solar energy. But it doesn't have to be. It can also be what could be thought of as like an incomplete sphere. Like giant sections that have solar charging batteries that they're able to come and receive energy from. Because I don't know if any of you have any concept of how big the solar system, how big the Earth's orbit is. But to build even just a simple ring around that path, that size,
It'd be an enormous
materials.
Yeah, I mean,
you're looking at time. I mean, this is so many generations.
or hopefully lots and lots and lots of laborers. You never know. Maybe they roll Dyson Spheres out on a freaking conveyor belt.
Yeah, fuck that. That's no.
But yeah, Dyson Spheres are technological genius, and you could live until at least the star started to expand or get smaller.
That's depending on where it was built. If it was built in the Goldilocks zone, yes. But if it was built in the entire circumference of the solar system, then you wouldn't really have to worry about
Well,
that.
then you'd be able to move out into, as the star got bigger, if it got bigger, you could move out into the new Goldilocks zone, which will be created because the star is getting larger. Now, do you think a star would go supernova in a Dyson Sphere? Or do you think it would just kind of wither out?
Here's the thing. It would take so long to build a Dyson Sphere that it would just be jackassery to try and build it around an O star, a B star.
You'd want to start it around like a baby star.
No, not a baby star, but like a main sequence star, not a supergiant, because
Well, yeah, that would be a waste of time.
you have to understand,
Like,
main sequence stars like our star
yeah.
cannot go supernova.
So-
Cannot. Not enough mass. Not enough stuff. It's going to expand out to the red giant, and once it burns up its core hydrogen and switches to helium, it'll
Right.
swell out because of the outward force of the helium and the inward pull of gravity. Is going to go right around Mars Earth orbit, and then once it finishes converting the hydrogen or the helium into carbon and oxygen, it's not going to have enough mass. No matter how big it gets, it's not going to have enough mass to fuse carbon and oxygen. So
it'll just kind of wither.
It'll collapse in, but it won't have enough gravity to do a supernova crush on the core.
It'll become like a brown dwarf.
It'll poof, and it'll be a nova.
Right.
And the outer hydrogen, helium, and whatever remnants of other stuff are there will just drift off, and it'll be a white dwarf. It'll be a stellar quartz white dwarf, slowly spinning rock of carbon and oxygen that will slowly cool off and die.
So you're saying a Dyson sphere would be best built around our type of star?
Correct, because it will live for billions of years, whereas a big star that can go supernova, because it has enough mass, is burning through itself so fast due to gravity that it'll only live 1 to 10 to 50 million years.
Yeah.
Like Sirius. Sirius is either dead already,
Yeah.
and we haven't seen it yet, or it's going to, eventually soon go big boomer.
And I saw something recently on Beetlejuice as well.
Yeah, they're making part 2.
No, not
It's coming out next year.
the star.
Oh. That Beetlejuice is in Orion.
Right.
It's his ankle.
And but yeah, they I just saw something on what is it actually pronounced, like Betelgeuse or something?
It's spelled Betelgeuse. But
So-
it's, we say Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
But I suppose you could say it's Betelgeuse.
Well, anyway, it's a very, very large star as well, and it apparently
It's a red giant.
it doesn't have. I thought it was blue giant.
Beetlejuice. Oh, I'm thinking Rigel.
thinking
Rigel.
Rigel.
Rigel's the other one in Orion.
No, Beetlejuice is blue, big blue star.
Okay, I can't remember, so I'll take your word for it. I don't really think about it too much.
So, any more questions about Dyson Spheres?
I mean,
Do you know anything more or have any theories on them? Or
well, what I have heard is I was watching D News, Discovery Channel News, and scientists have found something strange on a star, around a star.
the megastructure?
The megastructure that, I mean, they're assuming it's a megastructure. It's kind of, they can't explain it yet, so they don't want to jump to any conclusions.
But it's been in the news over the 3 or 4 times over the past few months.
D News' geeks, while they very much so stressed that there was no way to be sure, and that all things were still in the air, and it could just be a giant dust cloud in space, they were giddy and jumping up and down saying, Dyson Sphere, Dyson Sphere, Dyson Sphere. Incomplete, as I was talking about earlier, Dyson Sphere, like segments of giant space station-y structure surrounding the star. And what they said was, what's the best way to get someone in space to notice that you're there? Build something big enough to obscure your star momentarily.
Right? Right.
And people will be like, what the fuck was that?
Yep. There's a dark shadow over that star. But I mean, what was it? 1,500 light years away, I believe is what they said. Somewhere around there.
Give or take.
I mean,
it all becomes relative at that distance.
I agree, but you see, at 1,500 light years, it's like, even if somebody wanted to get our attention or somebody else's attention, it's like, okay, we see you, but what do you want us to do about it?
Well, see, now on that note, you have to remember the extreme oddity of our situation in the galaxy.
Well, we don't have much around us.
We live in a pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Our solar system exists in a pocket. Most stars, the majority of stars, are binary or trinaries and are closer to many more stars than our Proxima Centauri that is 4 light years away.
So most stars are within like a light year to 3 light years of each other or
Although
something.
scientists...
In the arms anyway.
Scientists are now beginning, like real scientists, en masse, are starting to believe that they might have discovered either a super Earth or a dead brown dwarf going around our solar system.
Nibiru? That's supposedly what they're calling it.
I'm not saying Nibiru.
I did see something about Planet X discovered.
They're not confirming anything. Not confirming anything.
The Great Destroyer! That's what they called it 3,000 years ago. Anyway.
But it certainly explains, like, it gives so much more credence to why comets dislodge.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be pretty
it's
big.
Outside the Kuiper Belt.
Yeah.
It's outside the Oort cloud.
It's outside the Oort cloud.
Yeah.
That's really far away.
Yeah, but it's still closer to the Kuiper Belt than the sun.
How many AUs is the Kuiper Belt?
Alright, an AU is from the Earth to the sun.
Right.
So, an AU is from the Earth to Jupiter?
No, Mars is like 2 AUs.
Not from Earth. Talk about from Earth.
Like,
so we have Sun to Earth, 1 AU.
Right.
Earth
to
Jupiter, 1 AU.
Okay.
And I am totally approximating this. I am 150% approximating this. But then we're talking about from Jupiter to Uranus, probably about 1 AU.
Yeah.
And then Uranus to Neptune, probably 1 AU. Pull up a map of the solar system, and
astronomical unit.
Yeah, well, that's just it's like.
Well, okay, right.
Technical
difficulties. Okay, let's try this again. What do you want me to bring up?
Map of the solar system with legend.
Map of the solar system with legend.
Do 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 do. Boop.
So.
Oh, your phone! It's so horrible. I swear. Modern technology is a piece of shit. You know where we should be with modern technology? We should be with, like, Star Trek data pads and damn hover boots instead of ladders.
4 dwarf planets in our solar system. 4 dwarf planets.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. So, can you see their distances or whatever?
Okay. Well, they actually didn't put Pluto's down for some reason.
That's up down there is Pluto's.
It's. Oh. Okay. Nope. Doesn't show it.
All right. Find out how many. Go back to OK Google.
Okay, Google.
Ah.
Okay.
How many astronomical units is Pluto from the sun?
$39.53.
Holy, see, this is why we did this, because of how wrong I was. All right.
So Neptune, where's the Kuiper belts between Neptune and Pluto?
No,
Or
Pluto's in the Kuiper belt.
Pluto's in the Kuiper belt. Okay.
Yeah, Pluto is a Kuiper belt object of size and magnitude to be considered a dwarf planet.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay, and an AU is 150 million kilometers.
Yeah. So go back to the thing. Okay, Google.
No.
You stupid thing. How far away from the sun is the Oort cloud in astronomical units?
Good question.
Subsequently, using a much larger number of observed orbits, the American astronomer Brian Marsden calculated that the part of the Oort cloud where new comets originate, the more distant part of the cloud, is between 40,000 and 50,000 astronomical units from the sun.
40,000 and 50,000 astronomical units from the sun. About 150 million kilometers
Is 1 AU.
is 1 AU. So, okay.
Or 93 million miles.
So what we're looking at here now is this new thing that they discovered would have to be parked outside of that to dislodge it, to dislodge things and not trap things. So, wow, how did we get onto this? We were trying to talk about Dyson Spheres.
Yeah, we got stuck on astronomy. That's just like
See,
our thing.
I will geek talk the shit out of some astronomy.
You know, we got some time. We might as well.
Well, is there anything that you want to know? Because I know you don't know as much as I do. So,
But what he teaches me, I usually remember. No, I like where we're going with this one.
yeah.
Like, okay, so 40,000 to 50,000 astronomical. That's a, okay.
Planet X.
A brief history of the hunt. Planet X is their super Earth at the edge of our solar system.
So, the whole premise here.
Super Earth, Wolf 1061C. Wolf, wow. Sorry,
That's
Star
some
Trek.
more
thing.
Star Trek right there. You know, Wolf 359.
Sorry, just okay. So let's see. Planet X, is there a super Earth at the edge of our solar system? Last week, it's a no planet. This week, Yahoo. Okay, let's see.
So, think about it like this. We discover a planet-sized object, anyways. Planet-sized object. That is larger than Earth and Venus. Maybe not as big as Uranus or Neptune, but larger than Earth or Venus. In a huge orbit. Outside, very slow moving, but close enough to occasionally have its gravitational well nudge one of the giant bits floating outside in the Oort cloud. And it's just enough to give it a bump. Maybe it bumps into something else, maybe just drifts slowly more inward.
But also, apparently, I've also heard that that they've noticed that the solar system has been acting weird, quote unquote. That when I say that is like,
how could
someone said there was like there's a little bit of more of a wobble to some of the planets than there should be.
There's a little bit more of a wobble.
There was like an outside force that's actually affecting the outer planets.
All right, so
I don't know.
We have been on Earth for 165 million years.
Okay, we haven't.
Just shut up. And we've only been paying attention scientifically, accurately, for I'm gonna go ahead and give something to our a throwback to some of our ancients, and say 10,000 years. I'm gonna give 10,000 years of observation some degree of accuracy. It is only in the past. If you want to be honest, if you want to be totally honest, it's only in the past year. In the past year that we have begun actually learning stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
we got like a primer
Well, okay, we've been learning
over the
stuff
past like 40 years, 50 years. But in the past year, we have made more astronomical understanding, discoveries,
Right.
just research, just everything.
between, like, I think it was 2008 to now. They have discovered over 1,000 protoplanets, I think, and like some actual like couple habitable planets.
Between 2008 and 2014,
Okay, well,
they discovered 5 to 10% of those. In the past year, they discovered the other 90
That's
to 95%.
Right. That's right. That's right. Because I don't know, the space camera that we have looking for planets around other stars is amazing.
I'm amazing.
Not as amazing as that.
You tell me I'm amazing right now. Appease me.
Appease you. You're amazing.
That's goddamn right I am.
Would you like to hear a little information on Planet X? Are you interested?
My issue about hearing information on Planet X is that it would be so hard for me to believe that they've actually got it, like real factual information. Like I think it's all speculation at this point still.
Well, and I agree, and that is kind of what it sounds like. But
all right, so we're going to be throwing out some speculation here. But yeah, go
but
ahead.
and it's short. There isn't a whole lot. They just give a little bit here on this one. It's Z Media Bureau, Stockholm. At the outer reaches of our solar system, there lies a massive new planet. Such is the claim made by Mexican and Swedish researchers, who say that they have uncovered a massive new planet, Planet X, between Pluto, or beyond Pluto. I'm sorry.
Between Pluto.
I know.
No, not between Pluto and something else. Between Pluto.
Beyond Pluto. The researchers made this conclusion after they noticed a fast-moving object crossing their field of view while examining the Alpha Centauri star system near the nearest to Earth.
There couldn't possibly be anything else out there.
Right.
You know, something moving.
But it is the closest star to put something in front of.
Yeah, fair enough. But, I mean, what I'm saying is there couldn't possibly be, you know, a smudgy, filthy, out there farther primordial comet.
Right.
That just moved by.
But hang on. Listen, after examining their speed and brightness, the possibility of them being stars has been ruled out. This controversial study has dealt with a healthy dose of skepticism, and two major conclusions have been drawn. The scientists argue that the object is most likely part of the solar system in prograde motion.
It's moving in the same direction the rest of everything else is.
Thank you. Albeit at a distance too far to be detectable at other wavelengths.
That is a retarded statement.
And I will have you explain why after I finish this. Other astronomers are of the view that these bodies are likely to be something known as super cool brown dwarfs, also known as failed stars. Brown dwarfs are cosmic bodies that never burn fusion at their core.
They just
And
were
that
like
is
Jupiter. Jupiter could have been a star, but
It
it
could
just
have.
wasn't big enough.
And you know what? If it decided to go flying off on its own, it could be. It would probably. It could be a brown dwarf. It could have its own little solar system.
Jupiter would be a sad, lonely child. It would be a midget, not a dwarf. It moving. It's too far a distance to be detectable by other wavelengths. Yet, there are plenty of things beyond that distance that we can detect at a multitude of wavelengths.
Okay, Google. Okay, Google.
Derpa, derpa, derpa. I'm a scientist.
You went derpa, 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 and it put down dirt bike. Okay, Google. Distance of planet X in astronomical units.
According to
Just
that
have to know.
astronomy, one astronomical unit is about 150 million kilometers.
Yeah, thanks.
The period is measured in years. Planet X is alleged to have a period of 3,600 years. Okay, so what they're saying is that Planet X makes one revolution in
Once every
3,600 years.
and
So basically, we saw it. The only time any of us are ever going to see it pass by a star. That star. Which means everybody should be racing and running to go turn all their telescopes so many degrees. I firmly believe that there's far more to our solar system than we've ever discovered or even thought that we should think about. You know, possibilities. Like,
let me. Can I ask you something? Yeah, interrupt.
ask away.
Now, I'm a conspiracy theorist, and I love my shit. I love my alien shit. Do you think that there's life in our solar system?
Define.
Unintelligent to intelligent. And intelligent, I mean not necessarily like warps capable species or whatever. I'm not going to go there yet.
Let me ask you this:
like
how
intelligent.
intelligent do you consider dolphins and whales?
I consider dolphins as smart as humans.
Okay, in that case,
Whales,
I can't
not so much.
speak to the idea that there may be any other humanoid life forms.
Right.
But I'm a firm believer in the fact that it is dumb of any scientist to assume that if it's life, it has to be carbon-based life. So,
Is that what scientists think? If there's going to
No,
be life, it's
no.
got to be carbon based.
it's just that that's all we know.
Right.
And most scientists feel that that's the way it's got to be. Because they're all, like I said, narcissistic.
Well,
But-
but it's all we know, so we have to be narcissistic.
But if you were to keep an open mind, Europa
Europa? Never quite heard it pronounced that way.
is a planet-sized moon covered in ice
With a lot of water underneath.
with more water underneath
Warm water.
than there is water on Earth.
And
It's not water.
it's not water.
It's methane.
Liquid methane?
It is methane.
Well, okay. That makes sense. And also, Europa comes close enough to Jupiter that the tidal forces are extreme, along with a couple of the other moons.
Methane, in and of itself, is an organic compound.
So basically, something could evolve or survive in methane.
Have you heard of a tardigrade?
The tardigrade.
A tardigrade.
No, not specifically.
They're also known as water bears.
Yes, water bears. Gotcha.
A tardigrade is
Cheers to you, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh my God, you are one of my heroes, Dr. Tyson.
I hope you watch this.
The tardigrade is a microscopic organism that, just put it bluntly, it can live for 10 years in the vacuum of space.
Only 10? I thought it could just survive. Period.
No, it can survive. Period.
Just about anywhere else.
Just about anywhere else in a form of stasis.
Okay.
Until it is reintroduced to water. H2O. And then suddenly becomes active again and wakes itself back up and goes right about its daily habits.
Well, the water bear is obviously carbon-based.
And
it likes its water.
It's an extremophile. It can live
In
pretty much right next to magma. It can live in a sulfuric vent.
It can live in a vacuum of space.
It can live in an iceberg.
Absolute zero?
Couldn't tell you. Absolute zero has never actually been reached.
Well, we haven't reached it, but
space doesn't even exist at absolute zero.
Then how do we know about it?
Well, no, we know that it has to exist. It's just that space itself is being warmed by the cosmic background microwave radiation.
Right.
From the Big Bang.
Whole different subject. And you should find the Vsauce about how hot is hot.
Oh yeah.
Have you watched that? Like there's an absolute zero temperature, and there is an absolute hot temperature. They actually go into pico temperature or something like that. But that's a different subject. We're talking about water bears. This thing is resilient. It will live hibernating in any environment for however long until it's, it can freeze. It can live in a desert probably.
And everyone knows about other extremophiles. There's multiple types. The tardigrade is simply the most. As a matter of fact, as Dr. Tyson said, if a true scientific alien species came to Earth to study it, they would not be wrong if they called Earth the planet of the tardigrades. Because they're quite possibly are more tardigrades living in one plant, on one leaf of a plant, covered in dew, outside your house in the morning, than there are people on the planet.
Oh yeah. And
I say quite possibly because there's no way to be certain of anything.
And we've got 7 billion people on the planet. The tardigrade, I don't recall exactly how small it is, but the funny thing is it kind of does look like a little bear. So I call it a little water bear.
The way that it moves.
Oh yeah, it kind of looks like a bear. Now, what is the purpose of the tardigrade?
Purpose?
What is the purpose of this water bear that can...
It's a creature. Its purpose is to live and exist. What's your purpose?
That's not what I mean.
I will be right back. You need to host the show.
Okay. Well, I am being left on my own here to watch my brother leave the house. Anyway, hi. I'm Jim. I don't know if you remember. Without my co-host, I am kind of left dumbfounded because I need to be prompted on certain things. Anyway, I can do Star Trek. I can do Doctor Who. I can do. Oh, let's see. I like sci-fi in general, but Star Trek's my thing. I can do Star Wars. I can do, Firefly. Firefly. I can do Firefly. Don't quite have a brown coat, but I'm in the closet about being a brown coat. Just gotta get me a brown coat. Now my brother will probably be upset that I've completely tangented it on this. So, bear with me. Bear with him. We hope that you guys like us. We hope that you subscribe and or like. Like us if you like us if you like us. Like us if you don't like us. It'll help out. Kind of thing. Anyway, we do this Geek Talk, and we're trying to, pick it up a little bit here, and we'd like suggestions, about what to talk about. We can do astronomy, we can do Star Trek, we can do certain other sci-fis and whatnot, like I previously mentioned. Now, science, astronomy, and sci-fi. Those are our strong points. You need, and we would like some suggestions so we can kind of kick this off. We need to kick this off. This is only our second episode, and we need some viewers, and we need your help. So tell people about us. Tell us what you think about us. Tell us how we could improve, or whatever. Just trying to get our faces out there, trying to get our opinions out there. If you guys agree or disagree, let us know. Put it in the comments. We want to know it. We want to know what we can do to make ourselves better. We want to know how we can make things interesting. And, let us know how you feel about everything. I don't know where my co-host went. He kind of took off. So I guess I could just continue talking here. So yeah, I guess we were on the subject of mostly astronomy. We started with Dyson Spheres. Dyson Spheres, I believe, have to be an incredible feat of multi-generational, multi-species, cooperation. I don't believe that unless one species was so prolific that they had so many of their own that to build a Dyson sphere, that it's unlikely you would have to have help. And right now, the Dyson sphere is, even to think, if we had aliens visiting us, if faster than light speed technology exists, or wormhole technology, or whatever, even if you could do that kind of stuff, you had flying saucers, you could, go back in time even. Building a Dyson sphere is completely unlikely, I believe, truly. I would have to see one for sure. This megastructure that they see in the news, I think it is maybe a large planet that, if there's life on it, it would, like in Star Wars, that planet that was just one giant city, you know. It's kind of like that, just a completely technological planet. That might be what it is. I don't know about Dyson Sphere. It just doesn't sound plausible. If someone wanted to get our attention, building a large structure would work. But other than that, I don't see it happening. The resources, the time spent, if there was money resources, that just ridiculous. Other than the Death Star, they don't have anything like that even in Star Wars. And Star Wars has some ridiculously retarded working technology. Massive technology that would take billions and trillions of dollars to make. Easy. Because it's a giant community of people. And we're not part of that. So, I'm gonna stop for a little bit, I think. And see what's going on with my co-host. He's left me alone in his home, and I'm at a loss as to what to talk about at the moment. So, excuse me. Hey yo, I'm back. So, I found my co-host. He had to go and watch the neighbor's kid.
Emergency babysitting. I had to make a quick watch.
So, while he was gone, I kind of rambled about Dyson Spheres and how, unless it was a huge collective effort with massive resources, I didn't think it was possible. Honestly, I don't think a Dyson Sphere is possible in the aspect that they are portrayed.
Anything is possible. The Dyson Sphere is only limited by time.
And resources.
Resources can be found within time.
True. You could wear out an entire solar system.
That's why you'd harvest the Oort cloud for minerals. I mean, I'm just saying.
Problems.
I'm just saying that with enough time, it's possible. The hard thing is the time. Like I said, if you wanted to build something as big as the Earth's orbit alone, I mean, even with a vast labor source and innumerable materials,
A ring. Just a single ring.
An equatorial ring
would probably take
10,000 years.
10,000 years? You think 10? What if you had
500 years? 500 years.
What if you had all the resources you ever needed, and all you had to worry about was like basically labor and stuff?
Still, I mean, you're looking at something that is.
You would need technology that could build either really, really fast.
What is it?
Or you just have to have patience.
93 million miles in radius. That is 186 miles in diameter.
186,000, right?
186 million.
186 million. Right?
186 million miles.
You just said 186 miles.
186 million miles in diameter. Contiguous.
And that's just a ring.
That's just the ring.
Not talking about a sphere.
I mean, and that's just talking something the size of a thread.
Do you think the Earth looks flat at sea level? Imagine a Dyson Sphere, how flat it would be just standing on it at 186 million cube. What is it? 186. Well, that was just a ring. What would be the diameter of the sphere?
No, well, the diameter would be the same at any given point.
Okay.
You're talking about the entire circumference.
The circumference, thank you. That's the word.
Is a number I don't even want to think about. Big. Big, 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 big.
I wonder if Google knows.
No.
Okay.
Because we have reached our time constraint. We must end this episode of Geek Talk. But, by all means, if you throw down a comment and give us something geeky.
I asked for lots of comments. I asked for lots of ideas. Lots of, likes.
Well, apparently you didn't
like
do good enough because we haven't gotten any yet. Apparently you haven't done shit.
You have to load it first.
Anyways, like, comment, share, subscribe.
Live long and prosper.
And seriously though, we want to hear what you want to hear. So this guy might have something intelligible to say. Till next time. TDFN, ta-ta for now.